Are you giving money to the state party also?
We are not giving money to the state party. Most of our involvement goes directly to candidates, and when you have outstanding candidates like this, we would be remiss if we didn't give to them directly. That said, we have a great relationship with Doyle and his team. Having been here earlier this year to do a campaign training seminar with all legislative candidates, House and Senate, who attended. Our audio training CDs go to every Republican state legislator here in the state. Our training materials, campaign training materials have gone to the candidates here. So while the state party is not getting a direct financial contribution, we'd like to say we have contributed to the state party through services that we've offered.
What will be the dollar figure that you're going to be giving the candidates combined?
To be determined. We still have a few days before election.
You said there's no state in the country that you have a greater emphasis on than Arkansas this coming election, is that right?
No state that we think has a greater opportunity of switching both chambers from Democrat to Republican than here in Arkansas. And for us, it's one of the top states for us across the country to keep an eye on and to be involved with.
What other states is GOPAC involved in this year?
Well, we're fortunate we get to be involved with our training programs in all 50 states. Where do we see great opportunities? Not only here in Arkansas, we believe the Kentucky House has a chance to gain a Republican majority. The Illinois or the Iowa Senate, the Nevada Senate, the New Mexico House, the Oregon House all present Republicans an opportunity to gain a majority. There's a few we need to hold on to. We have a 1-seat majority in Colorado that we need to hold. The Minnesota House and Senate we need to hold. And the Maine House and Senate we need to play defense and hold. But as you can see from that list, there's far more offensive opportunities for Republicans than where we have to defend.
How did you select the 6 candidates that you're supporting, and will you be supporting the other candidates?
To be determined. Again, election day is still a few days away. Look, we think these represent each one represent a very unique opportunity for Republicans, whether it be making sure a key incumbent needs to return, whether it's in Mary's case, a small business owner, whether it's in Bill's case, who is an educator and brings an education background. Also, we looked at looking at the districts around the state, representing areas that maybe Republicans hadn't always been successful in, but now we have a great opportunity, and that once you get one Republican elected, it certainly has a snowball effect. Once you have one party switcher, you start seeing others realize they really should be with the Republican Party. So each brought a dynamic, and each brought a background that to GOPAC was very attractive. That not only could they be leaders in their legislative chamber, but as has been GOPAC's history to help build leaders up to run for future office, we believe many of them have the opportunity to run for federal or state office down the road.
Should we take this as a sign that these are some of the closest races that y'all see, or?
We, well, hopefully at the end of the day, none of them are close. But, look, these are the ones we think give us a great opportunity and are representative of the races throughout the state.
Are there any specific issues in the legislative landscape in Arkansas that you hope will shift with in your hope of Republican leadership in the House and Senate?
Sure. Thank you. Good question. As we were discussing earlier, that ultimately what we want good conservative government. And that starts with making sure that the federal government doesn't come in and take over the healthcare system here in the state of Arkansas. That ultimately you don't want a bureaucrat in Washington getting between a doctor and a patient here in the state to decide what their best health care is. And that if we continue down the path of the president's health care system, that's exactly what's going to happen. If we continue down the path of the president's health care system, the IRS is going to be able to garnish wages from you if you choose not to get a health care plan. It is our hope that an Arkansas majority, Republican majority, will work to do everything to make sure that people get to make their own health care decisions. And that ultimately we start looking at the very things that the House and Senate Republicans are campaigning on, whether that be tax reform, whether that be regulatory and legal reform, all those things. GOPAC has 6 goals for creating jobs and opportunity. All of those fit within what we believe states need to do to create jobs in their states.
I'm sure you've heard from Democrats in Arkansas and in other states where you guys have been active in, saying that out-of-state money pouring into all these races can eventually be harmful for those states. What would your response be to that?
Well, as we saw in 10, and as we see here in 12, that certainly groups like ours want to support candidates who we believe will be good representatives and good public servants. But at the end of the day, people are voting on candidates, and it's good candidates that get elected. And certainly third-party groups work to play an important role and should be involved in the process. But at the end of the day, good candidates, bad candidates, don't get put in office by third-party groups. We could go around the country. There's a number of races that millions could have been spent to help the Republican candidate. They weren't getting elected because they were a bad candidate. So these 6 men and women all will get elected because they're good candidates. We just believe we want to do our part to be supportive of them because they're the type of representatives and the type of senators who will do the right thing for the state.
Is the financial backing of incumbents an acknowledgement that they're vulnerable to losing their positions?
No, not always. I mean, we will many times support ones who we think have the potential to rise up and be in higher office. And we have an emerging leaders program where we will take incumbent state legislators and do a year-long how to be good leaders, how to, focusing on the issues with them, how to give a speech, how to conduct an interview, all that type of media training. And for us, we like to get in during the election as well to say, look, this person needs to be reelected. We want to support them. And so Jason being a great example, we think he has a really bright future, and we wanted to be involved with him now.
Anyone on stage part of that program?
No one has been nominated yet. They got to get elected first. There was no Arkansas members of the legislature in our 2012 class, but we are looking forward to a Republican speaker and a Republican Senate president nominating someone for that program for next year.
Thank you all for coming. We appreciate your being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.